Welcome to the Build Your Life Coaching Biz podcast, where you get to learn how to become a professional life coach and start an online coaching business from scratch. I'm your host, Krista Kathleen, a professional certified coach and spiritual business mentor. In 2016, I got divorced and left my full-time job as a registered nurse and decided to bravely answer my calling of becoming a life coach so I could help to change lives as I traveled around the world. And now I want to help you discover your purpose too. Having the freedom and flexibility to be your own boss and make as much money as you want right from your laptop will be one of the best gifts you ever give to yourself, your family, and the world. In these episodes, I'll give you real coaching combined with proven strategies and spiritual practices in order to help build your dream coaching business that feels perfect for you. Hi, everyone. Good morning. So in today's episode, I want to talk about 10 signs that you will make a successful life coach. I'm sure you're probably asking yourself, will I make a good coach? And maybe you haven't explored the coaching path yet and you're asking yourself this, or maybe you've already started coaching yourself and you still might be asking yourself, am I a good coach? To be honest, 8 years later, after full-time coaching, sometimes I will still ask myself, am I a good coach? And then I'm like, of course I am. I'm an amazing coach. And I just really want to encourage all of you to answer that question for yourself, right? Find that answer from within. Don't let anything on the external world influence that for you. Because whatever you believe to be true about yourself, people will see that through your eyes as well. Right? So if you're constantly questioning yourself, like, am I a good coach? Then other people are going to probably see you from that lens as well. But if you're like, I know I'm an amazing coach, or even if you're not a coach yet, but you're like, I'm a coach in training and I'm learning how to become a really transformational, excellent life coach, like, just start to begin to talk to yourself that way. That's really how you practice building that self-esteem and that confidence. So I just wanted to start that off, sharing that little gem right away. And let's go ahead and start diving into the signs. And, you know, there's probably a lot more signs than what I'm going to be sharing with you. And you might come up with different signs than what I'm sharing here, but this is just what I came up with. You know, if you guys aren't familiar with me yet, hi, I'm Krista. I'm based in St. Louis, Missouri, and I used to be a labor and delivery nurse and felt that that was not my greater purpose in life, and accidentally stumbled into the life coaching world. And as soon as I experienced it and saw it, I was like, this is what I'm meant for. This is what I was put on this earth to do. This is what I was born to do. And so I was a private coach for a while for hundreds of clients, graduated from my coach training company and worked for them as a trainer for a while. And that's where I really fell in love of training people how to become professional coaches. And then the universe told me that I needed to start my own ICF-accredited coach training program. So that's where the Born to Coach Training Academy was born from in October of 2021. And this is my life's work. This is my life's passion, is to help people step into this rite of passage, this journey of coaching others. And so, yeah, after working with hundreds of students and clients over the year that are training to become life coaches, this is some of the signs I've seen that I feel will really make you a successful life coach. So the first one is that you're a good listener. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but 80% of the coaching conversation is usually the coach doing active listening. And then only 20% of the time is the coach really talking. or asking questions or sharing information. So out of like a 60-minute session, that's about 12 minutes of talk time for the coach. Now, this is according to the ICF methodology. ICF stands for International Coaching Federation. So maybe other coaching methodologies don't teach this, but you are going to be doing a lot of listening and a lot of holding space in a coaching conversation. So you better be good at listening. You better enjoy it. If you're someone that enjoys talking all the time, coaching may not be for you. And I will say that this is a skill set as well. I did a lot more talking in the beginning, and I've learned how to become a better listener. So a lot of these things that I'm going to share, you may like some of these things you may naturally have, and then some of these things you may need to develop more too. So I don't want you guys to like freak out and be like, oh, I don't have those things, so I'm going to be a good coach. Because there is definitely, from 8 years ago when I first started coaching, like my coaching presence, my coaching mindset, my coaching questions, my listening ear has shifted and changed dramatically. But okay, so the first sign is you're a good listener. The second is you're okay with not giving advice or telling people what to do. Now, this is going to be a hard one for a lot of coaches because we usually come in to training as a life coach thinking that we have to tell people how to live their lives and give this amazing guru Yoda wisdom and advice to our clients. And that's actually not what coaching is about. Giving people advice, telling them what to do keeps them stuck, it keeps them lazy, prevents them from thinking for themselves, being the most resourceful version of themselves. So there's a lot of unlearning that happens when you become a professional coach. And I've never been that type of leader. And I do believe that coaching is also a leadership position. And I'm the person that I like to collaborate. I like to partner with people and come up with ideas together. And again, that's a really good, if you're the same, that's a good sign because coaching is a partnership. Coaching is not telling someone what to do, but it's partnering with them to find solutions. So that's the second sign, is you're okay with not giving advice or telling people what to do. The third sign is you have empathy and compassion for helping others. We are in the helping profession, and empathy is a beautiful skill set, right? Really being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes, understand what they're going through. But we also have to remember not to over empathize. Over empathizing can really get us into trouble. It can keep us stuck in the hole with our clients. I see a lot of over empathizing happen on sales calls where people will give us really sad stories of, this terrible thing has happened in my life and I'm in so much debt and I can't afford a coach, and all this will come up. And we have to really understand where the person's coming from, but not jump in the hole with them, and be able to hold a higher energetic vibration and to be able to guide them out of these darker, these tough places. So empathy is good, but over empathizing is like, imagine like your client is in, they're like sinking in a sand pit and they reach out for help and they grab your hand and their client pulls you into the sand pit with them, and now you're both sinking and you're like, who's gonna help get us out of here? Right? Like the coach has to be the stronger one that can pull the client out, and over empathizing does not allow you to do that. Okay, next sign is you're a personal development junkie. So hopefully you love reading self-help books, you love listening to podcasts, watching motivational videos, anything that like betters yourself, get you motivated and excited for life. That's usually a good indicator that you're going to be a good coach, because we are in the personal development and self-help industry. I almost can always predict what's in someone's Kindle library when they tell me they want to become a life coach. Books like Jen Sincero's You're a Badass, Tara Moore's Playing Bigger, Rachel Hollis, Girl Stop Apologizing, probably one of Tony Robbins' books. Like, we're all pretty much reading the same books, right? We all love the things that help us get to a new place in life. And your clients are going to love those things as well. So they're probably going to want you to share those types of resources with them. I have a whole list of like books and podcasts and videos that I always share with my coach training students that I personally love. I have this like whole library, and so I'm like, I know they're going to love it too, and they always do. Okay, next sign is you can stay unattached from your clients' results. Now, this is something that I was not that good at when I first started out as a life coach, and I'm still learning how to really master this. I'm a lot better, but I'm still working on it. But the first year of coaching, I would get really, really excited for my clients to get to this new place in life. And, when they tell me their goals, like, I would really expect them to hit them and accomplish them. And if they would change their mind, or if they didn't get to the goal in time, or they would want to get rid of the goal altogether, like, it would really affect me. And I would get upset at the client, and then I would convince myself I wasn't a good coach. And that's really a place that we want to stay unattached from, right? We want to support our clients with achieving their goals, but we can't want it more than they want it, or we can't get upset when they change their mind or when things shift course. Like, you really have to learn how to dance in the moment and be open and be flexible. And that can be hard to do, but it is absolutely necessary to be a successful life coach, is staying unattached from your clients' results. Okay, next one is you need to be non-judgmental, non-opinionated, and open-minded. Right, so you're going to be a safe person. You're going to create a safe place for your clients, and they want to feel like they can bring any type of topic to you, and that you're going to receive it with open arms. Right, so think about if there's any topics for you that feel like, oh, that makes me uncomfortable, or I don't want to talk about that. Like, you're going to have to work through that, because you really want your clients to feel safe with you about opening up about anything in their life, and trusting that you can be with it, that you can emotionally handle it. So like, for example, I a lot of times I think of kind of the more taboo topics in life. Like, so let's say abortion. Let's say that one of your clients recently got pregnant, and they come to your call, bring a request of, I'm not sure I want to keep this pregnancy, and I want to make a decision on this call today if I'm going to keep the pregnancy or get an abortion. Right? That's their topic that they bring. You can't be like, oh, no, I'm pro-life. I don't believe in this. We can't talk about this today. Right? Like, you can't have that mentality with your clients. You have to be able to support them around anything that they bring, because they're trusting you, and they don't probably have anywhere else that they can go to work through this stuff. But at the same time, you do have to be honest. And if you truly feel like you cannot hold space for one of your clients' topics, like maybe it really triggers you, then you are going to have to be honest with them. And you might have to end the call, And this is why it's good for every coach to have their own support system, a coach and or therapist. So that way you can talk about these things that come up. Just so you guys know, like my clients trigger me all the time. And it's not that they're directly triggering me. It's just stuff that happens. And it's, and then when that happens, then I bring it to my support team and I ask for help around it to figure out what it means for me and take responsibility in that way. So that way the triggers don't keep showing up. So yeah, great coaches are really able to have this non-judgmental, open-minded attitude to where you are like energetically saying, you can bring any topic to me and I'm going to hold space for it and we're going to safely explore it together. So that way you get your goal met here. Okay. Next sign is you're a curious person. So a big part of coaching is bringing a curious mindset. And it is really shifting from a place of, I know it all, to, I trust that my client knows it all. And I'm really curious to learn more about what they know. Now, that is definitely something that I've had to develop. I'm still developing it. And I would say that most new coaches don't have this yet. I think I do see some coaches that are just naturally really curious and ask really great questions from the start. But most of the time, new coaches will come in saying, oh, I want to tell you how to fix this. I want to tell you how I would have done this differently. And they're not even approaching the curious energy. And one of the most highest serving things that you can do for your clients is to be more curious and ask more questions, ask deeper questions. And again, this is kind of a hard thing to teach because it's like, it's an energy, it's an embodiment, it's a mindset thing. So again, like, don't worry. This is something you can really cultivate and develop. This is something that does need practice. It does need proper training to do this. But being a curious person, kind of just like how toddlers are, how they ask a million questions. Like, why does that work the way that works? Why is the sky blue? Why does the sun go down at night? Why does the grass feel this way? Like, I mean, sometimes the questions are ridiculous, but like they just want to know how everything works. And again, it's the same thing when working with your clients. Like when your client brings you a topic, you're going to be like, oh, I'm curious what that means for them. Oh, I wonder what they want to walk away with by the end of the session. Oh, I wonder where that came from. Right? Like that type of mindset, that is what's going to make you a really successful coach. Next one is, so number 8 is you like to challenge people. Now, this was a really, really hard one for me in the beginning because I am an innate people pleaser, right? I grew up as the good girl, not wanting to rock the boat, not wanting to speak up. And I've had to learn that coaching is about saying the thing that nobody else is going to say to you. So I don't want to say that we have to be the bad guy as the coach, but you have to be okay with stepping up and challenging your clients, right? So, for example, let's say that at the end of the session, you're creating, and this is going to actually flow into the next 2 that I have. So it might just be a repeat, but okay, no, let me do another example. So let's say this is something I do with my clients. So they'll say like, I just believe that I'm not a good mom. And I could be like, oh, yeah, she's right. I could see how she's not a good mom. Right? We don't want to do that. We want to challenge them and say, I don't believe that. I don't believe that you're not a good mom. I actually see an amazing mom in front of me. I would love for you to tell me 5 reasons of why you're actually a really good mother. right? Like, you're not going to buy into your clients' stories and limiting beliefs. You're going to challenge them. So that's like an example. And that was something I was always really afraid to do. But as I get further along in my coaching journey, I realize that our clients, they're paying us to challenge them. They want us to sometimes gently or more roughly guide them, push them outside their comfort zone. And this is something that takes trust as well. So you're going to kind of have to learn what works best for each client. Some people want more of that, like, come on, you're going to do, you got this. Come on, you can do this. Let's go the extra mile. And some clients are going to want more of like kind of that loving, gentle nudge. So it'll just depend on each person. But yeah, your clients want you to challenge them so they can go to new places they've never gone before in their life. The next one is you're observant and you're present with people. Right? So you want to see and feel and notice the things that your clients are bringing into the conversations that they are completely missing. And with our program, we're a level 2 ICF-accredited coach training program, which means we teach at the PCC level. And the higher up you go in your credentials, so there's ACC, PCC, and MCC. And the higher you go up, the more you're going to start paying attention and noticing things that your client is doing or saying, and you're going to bring it up. So like, for example, let's say your client is creating some goals at the end of the session and they're saying like, okay, this week I'm going to commit to walking outside every morning at 6 a.m. for 60 minutes. And when they're like saying this goal out loud, their energy is heavy. They're like, you can tell they're dreading it. Well, maybe like an ACC coach, right, first level of coaching credentials might say like, okay, yeah, great. All right, I hear that you're committing to walking outside every day for 60 minutes, starting at 6 a.m. Now, a PCC level coach would be like, okay, so I hear you committing to this goal. However, I'm really feeling and hearing something in your voice and your energy that's conflicting with creating this goal. Do you know what that might be? And then the client might be like, oh, yeah, you're right. I actually hate walking outside and I hate waking up early. Say, okay. So then what might be a different goal, a more realistic goal you might want to set for yourself? Right? Like I've found that my clients are so grateful when I'm really noticing and bringing the things up that they're, not wanting to say or not noticing themselves. And it can completely change the course of the coaching conversation. So that was the 9th one. You're observant and present with people, right? You notice all the little things. Man, my son, I don't know if he's going to be a good life coach or not, but man, Lincoln, he's 3 years old. He is so freaking observant. Like I will wake up and I'll be in a bad mood and he'll be like, Mommy, I'm noticing you're really mad. What's that about? It like throws me off, but I'm like, whoa, that's amazing. Like he's so sensitive and in tune like that. So I love that for him. It's incredible and it's been very transformational for me. Okay, and the last sign is you are an honest person. So again, it kind of goes back to the last two. We were talking about like, right, challenging and noticing those things. And yeah, being a really good coach requires a higher level of being direct and being honest. And again, this was something that was really hard for me as a people pleaser. Because I would usually just say things to make people happy. And again, like your clients don't want that from you. That doesn't create trust. That doesn't create transformation. So like something that you could be honest about is if your client, for example, like we're in semester 2 right now for the spring 2023 Born to Coach Training Academy class. In semester 2, I do 3 private mentoring sessions with each student. And what they do is they bring a recorded coaching session, either with their peer or with a client, and they bring it to our private session and we review the coaching session. We listen to it together. And a couple of the students right now they're hearing things and they're seeing things and they're coaching. They're like, man, I wish I would have said this. I'm noticing that. A big one is like when your client gets off topic and it's the coach's job to help guide them back to the original topic, right? It's really easy to get off topic and go on tangents and tell stories. And I'll always say, like, I'm curious, like, how come you didn't speak up and how come you didn't, say something to the client? Like, hey, I'm noticing we're getting off topic here. Is this a direction you want to go? Or do you want to go back to what we were originally talking about? Like, that requires a level of honesty to be able to say that. And, a couple of my students are like, oh, whew, can we be that honest with our clients? Can we say stuff like that? I'm like, yes, absolutely. It's your job. It's your job to be that honest with them. And I don't even think it's so much about the being honest part it's the, oh shit, I just lost my train of thought. Okay. It's not being honest. It's trusting yourself that you can be honest in a way that's coming from a good place. I think sometimes we think of honesty as like being a bitch or being mean or being rude, but honesty can be a really beautiful, caring thing that we do. And so my answer is like, if you come from like a good place with a good intentions, then the honesty will hopefully always land fairly well. But if you're coming from a place of being like judgy or being pissed off or something like that, then that's when it's not going to land well with people. So, okay, let's just go ahead and quickly review the 10 signs that are going to make you a successful life coach. So 1 is you're a good listener. 2 is you're okay with not giving advice or telling people what to do. 3 is you have empathy and compassion for helping others. 4 is you're a personal development junkie. 5 is you can stay unattached from your clients' results. 6 is you have a non-judgmental, non-opinionated attitude and an open mind. 7, you're a curious person. 8, you like to challenge people. 9, you're observant and present with people. And 10, you're honest. All right, folks, there you have it. The 10 signs that will make you a successful life coach. There's a lot more I could go into, but I think that's going to be enough for today. So hopefully that was reassuring for all of you. And remember, the gem here is to practice telling yourself that you're already a good life coach or you're learning to be a good, successful life coach, because only you are the one that can decide that for yourself. Thank you so much for listening to all my podcast episodes, or if you just found the podcast, welcome. I hope you stay on the journey with us so I can continue to support you in your life coaching career. All right. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
I'm so grateful that our paths have crossed at this time. And if you're ready to up-level your coaching skill set and learn how to confidently coach at the transformational PCC level in order to help your clients get bigger breakthroughs and better results, then join our Born to Coach Training Academy at buildyourlifecoachingbiz.com/certification.